keyboard. I think he has a mechanical keyboard, but I'm not completely sure. The mechanical keyboards make extra noise. I bought a gaming keyboard, but it's not a mechanical keyboard. Mine is just like some kind of hybrid keyboard where it's like somewhere like halfway between. Man, we just lost 1-2 again. So our score for Death Knight and me against Dr. Orc, so 1-2, Dr. Orc being the one, out of 3 games is we lost 2 and we won 1. So Dr. Orc beat both of us twice. I don't really understand what the mechanical keyboard is supposed to be good for other than making extra noise. I asked at the store, like, why do people want a mechanical keyboard? And they just said some people like the sound of it, which doesn't seem that useful to me. But keys last longer and it's smoother. Well, I had a keyboard, my old keyboard, I had it for like since 2007 or for, I don't know, a really long time, and the keys still worked on it. So everybody else in the channel seems to be away from keyboard, but right now is a perfect chance to do some replays. Some people have been asking about replays with Dr. Orc. I have tons of those, or I could do one-on-one replays with Death Knight. Or I could stop streaming and watch Netflix. Let me see. I'm going to save the replay that we just did, which was Gao 1 versus 2, Dr. Orc, VSBSMDK game 2, August 28, 2019. Netflix. Well, let me try a replay with Death Knight. So load replay, because we started a Sharkfight just recently, which means each of us gets to pick 5 maps out of a 10 map series. And all 10 maps have to be different. So I really like that because first of all, you get map variety, and second of all, it's just you and the opponent. Nobody's gonna save you. So I personally am a big fan of one-on-ones where you have to bring what you have. You can't rely on somebody else. Now let me see if I can find... Alright, so this is the game 2. I already did game 1, which was zones. This is game 2, which was on one of Morayus's maps, which is a newer map. He just made it pretty recently. This was either the first or probably the first time I played it. So I'm gonna need, I think, two computer slots.
As you wish.
Welcome to Sharkfight Game 2. This is a one-on-one on a 10 map series between Baby Shark and Death Knight. The first game was Zones, and that one was won by Baby Shark. So this is Minor Crossroad, created by Morayus. Morayus has created a good number of really interesting and unique maps for us to play on, so I'm super excited to be trying some of his new maps. Minor Crossroad is a smaller version of his map Crossroad, which is a big map that I believe fits 8 players, and this one I think fits 4. So I'm starting here in the top left, and Death Knight is here in the bottom left. Dumouriez was a spectator.
Work completed.
So DK is running with a peon.
Ready to work.
P-scouting is
Yes,
something
my lord.
that people often like to do on maps that are unfamiliar, and this is probably his first time on this map, and I believe it was mine as well.
Ready to work.
And it looks like he
As you wish.
probably decided to build here early, which I
Yes.
didn't realize until later on.
At
Okay,
your
he didn't do it
service.
yet.
Ready to work.
Work completed.
We're both going Barracks
Ready
Blacksmith.
to work.
At once, sire.
I have a couple more. I'm ahead
Work
by farms
completed.
because he went P-scouting.
We are under attack.
So my farms are a bit ahead of his because the time he was
Ready to
spending
work.
running his peon back and forth, I got ahead with
Work
farms.
completed.
So P-scouting has the advantage that it helps you
Ready
get
to work.
information about where your enemies are and where they're not. But then it also is costing you the time of the
Awaiting
peon where
orders.
he could be building or repairing or doing something.
Ready to work.
So it's a trade-off, and you have to
As you
decide
wish.
where it's appropriate for you to peon scout and where it's
Work
best
completed.
to use every bit of resources to advance your
Ready
defense
to
or
work.
offensive strategy.
Awaiting orders. At your service.
So this is my first
Your
scout
orders.
coming out to middle here. A
Yes.
second
Ready
grunt
to
joining
work.
him
Yes,
soon
yes,
after.
sire. Yes, sire. Work completed. Yes. Your orders. We are under attack.
So I was
Yes,
going to say the
sire.
grunt should have been pulled back. And okay, he was pulled back instead of letting him just die in the choke.
Yes, sire.
So he
Awaiting
took
orders.
on
Up
some
your
damage
mind.
that
Yes,
wasn't
my
necessary,
lord.
so I should have pulled him back a little bit
Your
sooner. There was no
command
reason for him to
completed.
lose half of his life, so that was a
Ready to
mistake on
work.
my part.
Yes, sire.
Your
Yes,
command.
yes,
Yes,
your
yes,
orders. Awaiting orders.
Ready to work.
The really good players will not let
Yes.
their peon take on hardly any or no damage when they're doing their scouting.
We are under attack.
So I lost both of those. However, I am choked at home.
Awaiting
to work.
orders.
Now he's aiming to choke
Work
me into my base,
completed.
where he has 5 grunts
Yes.
here and only 4 can fit here. So that gives him the advantage.
Your
More of his
orders,
grunts
your
are hitting
service, sire.
the row of grunts here. I have a second barracks. He's still pumping out of
Awaiting
just 1.
orders. Yes.
He's
Work complete.
just
Your
upgraded
service.
to level 3.
My lord.
My level 4 is underway.
Awaiting orders.
His level 4 is not yet started. And I believe I'm making a
orders.
catapult in one of these
We are
very
under
soon.
attack. Awaiting orders.
Nothing yet. This isn't really ideal to have nothing coming out of your barracks. So any downtime on your barracks is kind of lost time where you should have been building something. So I have a catapult coming there and a grunt, but that was another mistake made by me, is not having something
Awaiting
building
orders.
continually in the barracks.
Ready to work.
Work completed. My lord. Yes.
Your
yes,
command.
sire.
Your
my
command.
lord. My
Your
lord.
command.
Alright, so DK has opted to
Awaiting
Ready
orders.
to work.
start a second base
At
over
once,
here.
sire. Work completed.
Ready to work.
Awaiting orders. Work completed.
Ready to work.
As you wish.
Alright, so the catapult is going to come and start
Your
firing on
orders.
his line of grunts here. So he can either
Yes,
run into
your
my choke
orders.
or run away or let them
My
die.
lord.
My lord.
Attack. Your orders.
Ready to work.
My lord.
Ready to work.
So he lost a couple, then he moved back.
Work completed.
And I decided to press forward with the grunts and the catapult behind. So he's trying to wall this off.
Awaiting orders.
But now the grunts have been allowed into this space, which I didn't
Your
notice
orders. Your
right away,
command,
or I
sire.
would have already moved them down to start
Awaiting
attacking the
orders.
barracks.
Yes. At your service.
He's trying to build a tower to defend against this,
My lord.
which isn't really going to help a lot when you already have a catapult out. He really needed to have a catapult, but he couldn't get a catapult because he didn't have a lumber mill, so that was kind of like a desperation tower, not really a... He really needed a catapult to defend against the catapult, or to send a peon from
Your
over here
orders in orders.
to possibly kill these catapults. Possibly, like, sending a peon might have been
Work
a chance to kill a
complete.
catapult that's already half dead. It would have been worth an effort to send maybe a few peons down there
We are under attack.
to try to kill those catapults, but
Awaiting
yeah,
orders.
a guard tower or a cannon tower being built against a catapult or two
Yes.
is not really gonna do a lot. Okay, by a 10. See you later, maybe? So he's now trying to wall this off and put a tower behind here.
As you wish.
But again, since I already have catapults, the towers aren't going to do much because catapults have longer range than towers. Towers are great
Yes.
against ground units like grunts, and cannon towers against ogres, but
Ready to work. Ready to work.
The town is under attack.
Ready to work.
Work completed. Yes, my lord. The town is under attack.
Ready to work.
so I kind of also made another
Yes,
mistake
sire.
here, is that I
We
let
are
my gold
under
run out,
attack.
and I have 200 gold and no haul
My
and nobody's
lord.
Ready
mining.
to work.
I figured I already had it won at that point, but I should have still already had a haul here and not used all my gold before I had a haul made and was mining. Because now
Yes,
I have
sire.
to mine all the way from over here
Work
back home.
completed. Work completed.
So I did make some mistakes in this game. I feel like if DK hadn't have built the
Town is under attack.
second hall over here, and if he put that resource towards making more grunts and a catapult,
The
that
town is under
he
attack.
could have won that way.
Work complete.
I think he thought he had me walled in, and maybe thought I would go, like, start to
We
go
are
power
under
or
attack.
something,
Ready to work.
and then I'd run out of gold in there. So that was Sharkfight Game 2 of the Baby Shark vs. Death Knight series. I plan to do Game 3 of that and 4 sometime in the future. But for now it looks like Ring is rearing to play, so let's see if he wants to do a one-on-one. And of course he AFKs again.